It's a beautiful Friday evening here in the city of Compton. Welcome to the MLB Urban Youth Academy on the campus of Compton College, your host for game number 7 on the Barons season this summer. For the second time this week and the fourth time this season, the Academy Barons will host the San Diego Sunrays. Hi everyone, my name is Noah Alvarez. Glad you are tuning in or watching the replay at a later date. The Barons have their busiest week of the season. Tonight will be game number 4 of 6 games this week. So it's a busy time here at the Academy. The Barons are currently riding a 2-game losing streak and will look to bounce back in the win column against a very familiar opponent. Again, it's the 4th time on the season that the Sunrays and the Academy Barons will be facing off. The 2nd time this week. Earlier this week, the Barons won in walk-off fashion. That was on Tuesday night by a score of 7-6. They were trailing 6-4 heading into the bottom of the 9th inning, and they were able to push 3 runs across in the bottom of the 9th. Maximus Berber was the winning pitcher in that game Tuesday night, and Jared Sawyer was the losing pitcher for the San Diego Sunrays. It's game number 7 on the season. The Barons are 3-3. Why don't we go and introduce you to both teams? In the third base dugout over on the left side, the Academy Barons. Again, they're 3-3 on the summer, and all 3 of those victories have come against the same opponent here tonight in the San Diego Sunrays. They're led by manager Kenny Landreau, who was a native of Compton himself, went to Dominguez High School, and won a World Series in 1981 with the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Barons opened up their 2024 season with the Sunrays last Thursday. They then played them again on Saturday, this Tuesday, and now tonight for the 4th time. Again, all 3 times that they faced them, the Barons have gotten 3 wins. However, there are 3 losses coming against other teams, so they'll have to find a way to muster up some wins against the other teams here in the California Collegiate League. Errors have been an issue as of late, as the Barons have committed 8 errors in the last 2 games since we last saw them. They did have an away game yesterday in their first road game of the season, and the Barons fell short to the Conejo Oaks by a score of 10-7. Also on the coaching staff for Kenny Landreau is assistant coaches James Bishop, Lorenzo Gray, and the pitching coach is A.J. Monterez. And in the visitor dugout on the first base side, it's the Sunrays of San Diego. The Sunrays enter with a 1-3 record on their season, their lone win coming last Sunday over the OC Riptide. It's their first year as a team in the California Collegiate League. Technically, they're a affiliate team in their first year. They don't play any home games, which is pretty rough schedule. All their games will be on the road, and they're led by head coach Grant Mayu, who is an assistant coach over at Cypress College in the Orange Empire Conference, a very tough JUCO baseball conference. He attended Marina High School, played at Cypress College from 2013 to 14, and went on to transfer to San Diego State and played for the Aztecs. Also assistant coaches on the Sunray staff, Michael Futches, A.J. Kennedy, Oliver Jackson, and Max Gibbs. And thanks for tuning in tonight, guys, wherever you may be tuning in from. It'll be an interesting matchup between the Sunrays and the Academy Barons. We'll be right back after the national anthem with first pitch in just a moment. Back here at the Academy, just about ready for the top of the first inning. So we'll go ahead and introduce you to the starting lineups for the Sunrays, as well as the starting defense for the Academy Barons. Again, thanks for tuning in to Academy Barons Baseball here on the MLB Academy Barons YouTube channel. My name is Noah Alvarez. Starting on the mound for the Barons will be number 40, Andrew Stanley. Spent this past season at Wagner College and went to Golden West College, a native of Orange County. Went to Pacifica High School before playing at Golden West College for the Rustlers. Again, spent last year with Wagner College. He's currently a junior. Relatively tall pitcher as well, as I mentioned, wearing number 40. He stands at 6'5", so long, lengthy right-hander on the mound to start the day for the Barons. And we'll get you the starting lineup for the Sunrays. So the first man he'll face, batting leadoff, is the second baseman, Owen Wessel. He's a second baseman or infielder from Orange Coast College. In the 2 spot, it's the shortstop, Braden Grantham. In the 3rd spot, it's Max Imhoff, the catcher. Batting cleanup and playing center field for the first time this season is Carson Case. In the 5 spot, it's Evan Rolbecki, who will be playing left field today. Gabe Darcy will be playing right field and batting 6th. Kaimana Martiz will be playing first base and batting 7th. In the 8 spot, it's Hudson La Barbera, the DH. And in the 9 spot, rounding the order off for the Sunrays, is the 3rd baseman, Tucker Bale. Again, on the mound for the Barons is Andrew Stanley as you watch him warm up. On the mound for the Sunrays, who we'll see in the bottom of the first inning, is Nicholas Suspenzi. He's a familiar name. He started the game not too long ago against the Sunrays. It wasn't this past Tuesday, but if my memory serves me wrong, I will double check. I believe he started last Saturday. Yeah, Saturday, June 8th, he started for the Sunrays, and he only was able to record 1 out. He walked the first batter, hit the next batter, walked batter number 3, did finally get an out, but then he gave up a single, a walk, 2 walks in a row actually, before he was eventually pulled, and they went to the bullpen. Defensively, this is how the Barons will line up. Aiden Garcia will be behind the plate wearing number 27. Over at 3rd, it's Colin Taylor. At shortstop, it's Evan Cornwell. Over at 2nd, it's Dylan Lena. And at first base, Andrew Kirchner. First pitch from Andrew Stanley is in there for strike 1. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. In the outfield, Raymond Jenkins in left, Zach Freeman in center, and Deuce Robinson in right. This one hit on the ground over to Cornwell. Cornwell gathers, throws. Kirchner makes a nice stretch, and that's out number 1 here in the top of the first. So 2 pitches, 1 out, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Braden Grantham. Grantham will hit from the right side. He's wearing number 30. Wanted to offer at that one. It's in the zone, so that will be strike 1. 0-1 the count. This one also in there on the inner half. We're seeing a quick pace by Andrew Stanley on the mound thus far. The big righty pitching from the windup. Ooh, tried to get him on that breaking ball, but it just slid outside. 1-2 the count. Again, top of the first, 1 out, nobody on. And he does get Grantham to go down via the strikeout as Garcia was able to hang on to the pitch. No need to apply a tag. A strikeout for out number 2. Now that'll bring up the catcher, Max Imhoff. There's a swinging strike for strike 1. Imhoff is a catcher wearing number 33 from Yale University. This one's chopped foul over towards the 3rd base dugout. 0-2 the count. Again, a lot of strikes we're seeing early on. I'm sure that's what head coach Kenny Landreau and pitching coach A.J. Monterez loves to see. Check swing. Max Imhoff didn't go around there. Nice discipline to hold up on the breaking ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Top of the first. Andrew Stanley on the mound. This one hit into the air in right field. Deuce Robinson's going to go back. He's still going back towards the wall and plays this one off the foot of the wall. This one gets away from Robinson. Now Imhoff is going to round his way and make his way to third, and that's a 2-out triple. So hit the very bottom of the wall and bounced very far away from Robinson. And that was actually center fielder Zach Freeman who had to come over and gather the ball before throwing it over to third base. And now there's a runner in scoring position 90 feet away. This one misses outside. 1-0 the count. So now Stanley will have to work from the stretch against the outfielder from Santa Ana College. Carson Case hitting from the left side, went to Foothill High School. Had a really strong season for the Dons this past year. 2-0 the count. The Dons were the reigning state champions in 2024, however, came up short in the state championship tournament. This one does miss outside as well, and they're working very carefully around Carson Case. He's done pretty well against the Barons this season. Again, they've played each other now 3 times. This will be the 4th match between the two. This one's in there for a strike. 3-1 the count. Last Saturday when they played, Carson Case was the DH, went 1 for 2 with an RBI, a run scored, a walk, and a hit by pitch. 3 balls, 1 strike. This one misses outside. An easy take for Carson Case as he works the first walk of the evening. Andrew Stanley in a little bit of trouble.
Now batting number 29, Evan Robecki.
So the first pitch to the left fielder today, Evan Rolbecki, as head coach Grant Mayu going with a little bit different of a starting lineup. We've seen Rolbecki play, for the most part, infielder. He's played third base, also second base for the Sunrays this season. This one fouled back, out of play towards the third base dugout once again. It's a quick 0-2 count. No balls, 2 strikes. Andrew Stanley delivers, and this one swung on and missed. It's strike 3. A big out right there as they strand the runner at third and another runner at first. So 2 runners get stranded after the 2-out triple. And Andrew Stanley able to work out of a jam and keep things scoreless. Heading to the bottom of the first. Again, thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on the MLB Academy Barons Baseball channel. I am Noah Alvarez. Batting leadoff for the Barons here in the bottom of the first will be Evan Cornwell, the shortstop. In the 2 spot, it's the center fielder, Zach Freeman. Third baseman, Colin Taylor, will be playing third and batting third. In the cleanup spot, it's the DH, Roberto Bueno. Batting 5th and playing first base is Andrew Kirchner. The second baseman, Dylan Lena, will be batting in the 6th spot. Batting 7th is the right fielder, Deuce Robinson. Aiden Garcia will be behind the plate and batting 8th. And Raymond Jenkins will be batting 9th and also playing left field defensively. Again, Nicholas Suspenzi on the mound for the San Diego Sunrays. He had a rough start last Saturday, only recorded 1 out. Okay, thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball. Just about ready for the bottom of the first. Barons are 3-3 on the young season. Won their first game last Thursday, went 2-1 in their opening weekend. Again, all three of their wins have come against this San Diego Sunrays team, so got to continue the trend, get the wins against the teams they should. They lost yesterday by a score of 10-7 to the Conejo Oaks, a team that they lost to 10-1 at the Academy last Friday. They'll play the Oaks tomorrow night, and then Sunday they'll be hosting the Santa Barbara Foresters. So 2 more games in the weekend for you to come check out here at the MLB Urban Youth Academy. And starting on the mound for the Sunrays, Nicholas Suspenzi. He goes to the University of San Diego, appeared in 8 games for the Toreros this season. Didn't do as well in the 2024 season. However, in 2023, played 14 games, pitched 11 2/3 innings. Only gave up 4 earned runs. Also recorded a save in the 2023 spring season. From Arizona, went to Desert Mountain State High School. As the first pitch to Evan Cornwell, he showed bunt, tried to pull it back, but it fouled off the bat and goes into the padding. That's strike 1. Evan Cornwell, Zach Freeman, and Colin Taylor, the 3 due up here in the bottom of the first. 1-1 the count. Max Imhoff behind the plate. Over at third is Tucker Bale. At short, Braden Grantham. Second base is manned by Owen Wessel. And first baseman, Kaimana Martiz, round out the infield. Imhoff just completely missed that one. Maybe a mix-up on the signs there. There was some communication between the catcher and the pitcher. 2-1 the count. Again, in right field, it's Gabe Darcy. Center, Carson Case. And left field, Evan Rolbecky. Cornwell, the switch hitter, watches this one graze the outer half. 2-2 the count. This one misses very high, very wide. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Suspenzi from the windup. This one does catch the outer half. Cornwell tossed the bat, thinking it was out, or excuse me, ball 4, and going to be a walk. However, it's a strike 3, says the home plate umpire.
Now batting center fielder Zach Freeman.
And now it'll be the center fielder from Ohio State, Zach Freeman. This one fouled off out of play towards the third base side. 0-1 the count. So 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Suspenzi momentarily stepped off the mound. Now just about ready for play as Zach Freeman steps back into the box. He hits from the left side wearing number 1. The lefty awaits. This one misses outside. 1-1 the count. Again, Suspenzi has already matched how long he went in Saturday's outing against the very same Barons here. Only recorded 1 out and was pulled out of the game. 2-1 the count to the center fielder. Freeman hit a 2-run home run yesterday in the 10-7 loss to the Conejo Oaks. This one just misses. 3-1 the count. Again, Barons are now 3-3 on the season. They had 5 errors in the loss yesterday. This one fouled towards the San Diego dugout. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So another full count. 2 back-to-back hitters to start the game. This one does miss the outer half. In a similar spot to the one that rang up Evan Cornwell, maybe a little bit higher and just maybe a tad bit further out of the zone. And so it's a walk with 1 out. There's a runner on first. Freeman has some good speed, so the Sunrays will have to keep a close eye on him. That'll bring up Colin Taylor. Taylor started yesterday, got the day off on Wednesday. Taylor went 2 for 5 yesterday, scored 2 runs, drove in a run as well. Taylor and Dylan Lena have started the most games for the Academy Barons this summer. Dylan Lena has started all 7, while Colin Taylor comes in second at 6. A few players are tied with 5. This breaking ball misses. Sweeps too much outside the zone there. 1-1 the count. Runner on first. 1 out. Runner doesn't go. This one smacked into foul territory over there on the left side. Moves the count to 1-2. Again, the Barons are coming off back-to-back losses to the Blues on Wednesday and then to the Oaks yesterday in their first road game of the season. Freeman got a good jump on that one. Taylor swings at that one. He's ruled out. And now the home plate umpire. Wow, so they're going to rule batter's interference on the throw. So it's a strike him out, and technically a throw him out with the batter's interference. So should have been a stolen base. After the swing, didn't think it was intentional, but Colin Taylor got into the throwing space of the catcher, Max Imhoff. And that's out number 3. So just like that, the Barons do get 1 runner on. However, unable to capitalize on that opportunity. We head to the top of the second. Again, thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on the MLB Academy Barons Baseball channel.
Now batting number 10, the right fielder, Gabe Darcy.
Top of the second inning here. 6, 7, 8 due up for the San Diego Sunrays. Gabe Darcy will lead things off. Darcy started to go around, checked his swing, but it's ruled a strike, says home plate umpire. Andrew Stanley still on the mound. Used 13 pitches to get out of the first inning. 0-1 the count. Ooh, Darcy helping him out there. 0-2 the count early on. Darcy, Martinez, and Lar Barbera are the 3 batters due up here in this half of the inning. And top of the second, things scoreless after 1 complete inning, and we'll get you the defense for the Barons. Aiden Garcia behind the plate. Awaits the 3rd pitch of the AB. This one misses. Zipped in there. 1-2 the count. Over at third base, it's Colin Taylor. At shortstop, Evan Cornwell. Dylan Lena at second. At first, Andrew Kirchner. This one's poked over to second base. Dylan Lena backhands it, sets his feet. Bit of a high throw, but Kirchner is able to handle, and that's out number 1. Dylan Lena primarily played third base this season for the Golden West Rustlers. However, has to play second here this summer with another talented third baseman in Colin Taylor. In the outfield, from left to right, Raymond Jenkins, Zach Freeman, and Deuce Robinson. That's your defense for the Barons tonight as they take on the San Diego Sunrays for game number 7 on the season. Again, 2 more games this weekend to come check out. Tomorrow against the Conejo Oaks and Sunday against the Santa Barbara Foresters. Martinez swings at that one. 1-1 the count. 87 miles per hour off the arm. Ooh, Caimana Martinez way out in front of that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Again, Andrew Stanley working at a very fast pace. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stanley pitching from the first base side of the rubber. The 6'5" right-hander from Wagner College takes off a few pitches from Garcia. I don't know how many pitches he got in his arsenal, but there it is. That's the strikeout that Andrew Stanley was looking for. Garcia's going to have to throw over to first, and he does so in time. Out number 2. So game has a very quick pace. These 2 teams played back in the opening night back on June 6th. And it was a very quick game. That game was over before 8:40. Barons came out victorious by a score of 2-0. First pitch to Hudson La Barbera. Missed it. No, it was in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. From Sonoma State. This one also in there. And Andrew Stanley throwing nothing but strikes. And Barbera goes down via the strikeout as well. This one gets away from Garcia. He throws over to first in time. 2 strikeouts here in the inning. That's 4 on the outing already for Andrew Stanley. He certainly has the stuff moving tonight as he works another 1-2-3 here in the top of the second. We transition to the bottom of the second. And thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. For those who are interested, Celtics and Mavericks take on each other again for game number 4 of the NBA Finals, and the Mavericks have an early 45-25 lead with 6:30 left to go in the second quarter. I'm sure some of you wanting to know the score and be updated on that, just as I do. So we'll update you throughout the broadcast. Again, the Celtics are up 3-0 in this series. Mavericks would need a miracle just to make things competitive. Thanks again for tuning in to MLB Academy Baron Baseball here. It's a beautiful Friday evening. Just past 6:20 here in Compton, California, on the campus of Compton College. MLB Urban Youth Academy, built right on the campus of Compton College. It's cool to have a game stadium here facing the college, but towards the freeway on the back side is a nice practice field. And during the week, they have a lot of high school games. The high school travel ball team plays there as well. They also have practices, and so it's pretty cool to see so many fans in attendance for both these games. People making their way to the ballpark. Definitely recommend you guys can make it out to the Youth Academy if you can make it out this season. This one's hit foul, left side, going for the third base coach. 0-2 the count to Roberto Bueno. Bueno played at Compton College himself back in 2023. That one was very inside, and Bueno foul tips it back to the netting. 0-2 the count. Bueno takes one below the knees. This one is ruled ball one. Roberto Bueno, Andrew Kirchner, and Dylan Lena. The three do up here in this half of the inning. Again, things are scoreless in the bottom of the second. Oh, Bueno chases the high cheese. That's a strikeout for out number one. Nice pitching there by Suspenzi. That'll bring up the first baseman, Andrew Kirchner.
First baseman Andrew Kirchner.
This one misses well outside. An easy take for the first baseman, who hits from the left side. This one does get spotted right there on the outer half. One ball, one strike to the left-handed hitting first baseman. Committed to play at Cal State Fullerton after 2 strong seasons over at Golden West College, so congrats to the first baseman. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This one runs into Kirchner. Has to lean out of the way of that one. Here's the 2-2. Suspenzi tries to catch the outer half, but unable to do so there. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Kirchner helped the Golden West Rustlers win the Orange Empire Conference this past season. 3-2 is hit into center field, but right to Carson Case as he comes in a couple steps and makes that catch for out number 2. Some really strong contact, maybe the best we've seen off the bat of Andrew Kirchner this year.
Number 13, second baseman.
But unfortunately, right to a guy for the Sunrays. So 2 outs in the inning. This one hit into the air weakly over on the right side. Darcy's the man in right field. He makes a catch for out number 3. So in 1-2-3, bottom of the second inning, as neither team has really been able to get runners on and make something happen. So it's looking like it's going to be a fast-paced game. Again, thanks for tuning in to Academy Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons Baseball YouTube channel. Again, I'm Noah Alvarez. We'll be just about ready for the top of the third. Andrew Stanley still on the mound for the Academy Barons. Tucker Bale, Owen Wessel, and Braden Grantham will be the 3 men he faces, the minimum. Again, 9-1-2 due up in this half of the inning for the Barons. Barons played 6 games this week. They've already gone through 3 of their games, so we're in the second half of their busy week. They won Tuesday against the Sunrays, 7-6 in walk-off fashion. Maximus Berber was the winning pitcher for the Academy Barons. Then Wednesday they hosted the San Luis Obispo Blues, and they lost that game by a score of 7-1. Just really couldn't get anything going offensively. Were limited to just 2 hits in that game. And defensively, they struggled with 3 errors. However, the defensive woes carried into Wednesday's game to Thursday as they traveled to Thousand Oaks to take on the Conejo Oaks. And they lost that game by a score of 10-7. They did show a lot of fight as they fell to an early 5-0 lead after 2 innings due to a lot of errors. But they were able to tie things back up in the 6th inning. Things were all tied up at 5 apiece, before the Oaks went on to score 3 more runs in the bottom of the 8th and really run things away from the Academy Barons. Again, that was yesterday. They lost by a score of 10-7. The Oaks are now 4-3, while the Barons are now 3-3. Andrew Stanley will take on Tucker Bale for the first time today. Bale hits this one on the ground, a flat ground ball over to Cornwell, and Cornwell delivers it in time to first for out number 1. So now to be the top of the order, and Owen Wessel, the man from Orange Coast College, will step into the batter's box wearing the stirrups. San Diego Sunrays in their blue pullover uniforms. that light Columbia blue, powder blue, different words for it, sky blue. Gray pants, while the Barons are in their home navy blues, maybe a little darker than navy with the white shoulder pads and the white pants. First pitch misses downstairs to Wessel. Chopped foul. Again, a game tomorrow in which the Barons will host the Oaks. First pitch scheduled at 6:05. And then a game Sunday afternoon. This one's a nice bender in there for a strike. 1-2 the count. First pitch Sunday on Father's Day. Scheduled at 1:05. Wessel chops this one to Stanley. Stanley ranging to his left on the high chopper. Can't make the throw. He was like 5 feet away from Andrew Kirchner. Wow. Unfortunately, couldn't make a clean throw. Hit off the glove of Kirchner. I'm sure Kirchner's telling himself he should have had it. But it's going to go down as an error on the pitcher. So to be the third base runner of the game for the Sunrays, they do have 1 hit, 1 walk. And this will be the third base runner on the error. So runner on first. Stanley will have to go to the stretch again. And it'll be the shortstop, Braden Grantham, who struck out via strikeout in his last AB. Pretty good sized lead over there at first. Grantham swings through that pitch. 0-1 the count. Grantham wears number 30 from the University of San Diego, so teammates with the starting pitcher tonight, Nicholas Suspenzi, for the Toreros in the spring. Stanley makes a jump move over to first, and back in with the slide is Wessel. Wessel's a scrappy player from the Orange Coast College Pirates baseball team. Foul tipped into the glove. Garcia hangs on, and that's strike 2. Runner on first, 1 out. Stanley makes another move over there. Kirchner applies the tag, but to no avail. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Wessel is at first base. Here's the 0-2 to Grantham. Grantham hits a high chopper, but not very deep, to Taylor at third. Taylor makes a throw on the hop. Kirchner's able to pick it out, and that's out number 2. Advancing to second on the ground ball is Owen Wessel. Aiden Garcia talks with Andrew Stanley for just a brief moment, and it'll bring up the catcher, Max Imhoff. And the catcher's from Yale University. He's had some good ABs here on the season against the Academy Barons, wearing number 33. First pitch swung on and fouled back to the backstop. 0-1 the count. Imhoff started as the as a DH in Tuesday night's loss. Went 2 for 2 with a walk before being pinch hit for by Caimano Martinez in the 7th inning. And wasn't sure if that was due to an injury or just trying to get other players playing time. 0-1, this one misses in the dirt. Wessel goes back to second. Stanley comes set. Big righty with the 1-1 count. Imhoff started to go around. Not in the zone, so just missing there, according to home plate umpire. 2-1 the count. Try to get him with the front door breaking ball. Imhoff also started the opening game for the Sunrays against the Barons last Thursday. Went 1 for 3. Wessel getting out to a really big lead over there at second. Pitch it on home, and this one's fouled off to the left side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Home plate umpire alerting the Academy Barons baseball dugout that he needs some more baseballs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and there's 2 outs here in the top of the third. A runner on second base. They peel down to first, as Imhoff did get the bat off the shoulder, but not nearly enough to threaten the zone, so it's an easy ball ruled by the first base umpire. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second is Owen Wessel. Batter on deck is Carson Case, the left-handed hitting outfielder. Stanley delivers. This one's hit high up into the air into left field. Raymond Jenkins going back towards the wall, and that one's out of here. A 2-run home run here in the top of the third. Max Imhoff sends it over the wall, and that's the first runs of the game for either team today. Breaking ball that caught too much of the zone, 95 miles per hour off the bat, exit velocity. And so the Sunrays jump out to an early 2-0 lead here in the top of the third. Went 332 feet over towards left field. You had a feeling right off the bat on that one. So Stanley now has the bases clear, but 2 runs due to come across. One of the runs was unearned. Again, it was that error by himself, Andrew Stanley on the mound. Couldn't quite make a throw. This one's hit into shallow center. Cornwell's going to go back. The shortstop into the shadows and makes the catch for out number 3. So because of the error, Stanley had to face one more batter, and that one more batter was Max Imhoff. And Imhoff took one of his breaking balls into deep left field for a 2-run home run. And so the Sunrays lead 2-0 here in the top of the third. Again, thanks for tuning in to Academy Barons Baseball here on the MLB Academy Barons Baseball channel. 2 more games. Again, always going to push for you guys to come out here in person. If you can't, tune into every home game this season here on the YouTube channel. But this weekend, we'll have 2 more games here at the Academy over in the city of Compton. Tomorrow, they'll take on the Conejo Oaks. First pitch scheduled for 6:05, while on Sunday, the Barons will be hosting the Santa Barbara Foresters. So this is game number 7, game 8 tomorrow, and game 9 Sunday. Again, a very busy week, 6 games this week. And 5 of them were here at the Academy. They lost 1-1. Hit the road yesterday and lost by a score of 10-7. They're now here back at home. 7-8-9 due up here in this half of the inning. As you see the final throwdown from Imhoff. Again, he hit the 2-run home run.
Now batting number 44, right fielder Deuce Robinson.
So to bring up the outfielder, right fielder, Deuce Robinson. Swings at the first pitch that suspends, he throws. This one fouled out of play. 0-2 the count quickly on the outfielder. Robinson has an interesting background, playing 2 sports over at USC. Played football last fall and played baseball in the spring for the USC Trojans. This one hit on the ground to the shortstop, Grantham. Grantham pulls Martinez off the bag. Robinson started to turn towards second and will have to head back to first. The catcher, Imhoff, was hustling down the line and backed up the throw. So Robinson reaches via the error. Again, a routine grounder for Braden Grantham, but he didn't have enough on the throw. It pulled Martinez to his left off the bag. So now they'll have a base runner on to lead off the inning here. Again, in the bottom of the third, they trail 2-0. First pitch to Aiden Garcia, the catcher from Golden West. The trio of Aiden Garcia, Dylan Lena, and Andrew Kirchner were a very formidable trio in the lineup, especially with outfielder Jack Salmon, who went on to win the conference MVP. This one squirts away from Martinez, not very far. Robinson's going to try and take second. Here's the throw on a bounce and not going to be in time, as Robinson was able to get in and just beat the throw. I think that one skipped away from Grantham, so a risky decision, but it ended up paying off. So that'll be an error on the pitcher on the throw over to first. Garcia smokes this one into left center, tailing away from Carson Case, and that's going to bounce, and it bounces away from Case as he didn't expect so much spin. Robinson's going to score from second. Garcia's trying to head to third. Case missed his cutoff man, but oh, that's going to be in time. So Garcia tried to leg out the triple. You don't see a whole lot of catchers with that kind of speed, and he probably should have stayed put at second. A run does score. So a double, 8-5. I thought because Carson Case missed the cutoff, man, there was no way that throw was going to be in line, but it took a couple bounces. Stayed on path towards Tucker Bale at third, and Bale was able to apply the tag down on Garcia. He does get the RBI as Robinson came around to score. That one had a lot of spin as it bounced right in front of Carson Case, but Case was running to his right, and as it bounced, it like stopped and went backwards on him towards his left. And so Case had to do a full 180. It looked very awkward out there, but he was able to come up firing and make a good throw. And there is one out in the inning. 1-1 to count to Raymond Jenkins. Jenkins went to Long Beach Poly High School. This one misses in the dirt. 2-1 the count. Spent 2023 with the Cerritos Falcons before transferring to Barstow College. Played for Barstow last spring. Started 33 games as he swings over the top of that one. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jenkins awaits the 2-2. This one's a high chopper to Bale. Bale makes a nice pick over there at third, but the throw is not going to be, it's going to be high for Caimano Martinez. He's struggling over there at first as the first baseman planted the foot, and that left side of the infield's coming from the shadows while the right field's in the sun. So maybe that threw off Martinez as he totally just misgauged the ball. I thought he had a chance to reach up and grab that one. Going to go down as an E5. But I think Martinez kicking himself over at first, knowing he should have had that ball. So a speedy runner over at second base. There's been a lot of errors here in this inning. The third by the Sunrays defense here. Jenkins at second. First pitch to Cornwell. Swung on and fouled off the chest plate to look like of Imhoff. Maybe the helmet. Cesar Chavez has primarily played first for the Sunrays this season. Struggled offensively, but defensively he's quite sound. The Barons went and started Colin Taylor at first base in one of the games this season, and he struggled over at first. Cornwell showed bunt, pulled it away, and it's ruled a ball. Cornwell is a senior from Post University. This one runs in. Jenkins on a delayed steal, going to go down to third. And he tried to avoid the tag, but that was an easy pitch and catch from Max Imhoff to Tucker Bale. Getting a throw right on target. 2-5 for out number 2. So the Barons have run into some outs here in the bottom of the third. Garcia was trying to leg out a triple, was gunned out at third base. And then on a wild pitch, as this one's hit over to first base, Carmina Martinez does it himself. And then just a few moments ago, Jenkins tried to take off on a wild pitch over to third base, and he was gunned out. But the Barons do get one run in the inning, and they now trail 2-1 as we head to the top of the fourth. Again, thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on the MLB Academy Barons YouTube channel. I'm Noah Alvarez. Still be Andrew Stanley on the mound for the Barons when we come back. Again, top of the fourth inning. 5, 6, 7 due up here for the Sunrays in just a moment. Five, 6, 7 hitters due up here in the top of the fourth. Barons trail 2-1. Andrew Stanley still on the mound. Evan Rolbecki will lead things off, followed by Gabe Darcy. Strike one to the left fielder. And the 3-hitter, Kaimana Martiz, will be the third man due up this inning. Chopped foul towards the third base coach. No balls, 2 strikes. Sunrays got 2 runs in the third, but the Barons responded with 1 in the bottom of the third. Missing in the dirt is Andrew Stanley. 1-2 the count. Again, Stanley from Pacifica High School over in the city of Garden Grove. Now at Wagner College. Standing at 6'5". Rolbecki wanted to go around there and decided to hold up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rolbecki spent this past season over at Cypress College, teammates with Barons outfielder Jack Burke. 3 balls, 2 strikes now. This one pumped right past Evan Rolbecki, and that's a strikeout for out number 1 here in the top of the fourth. Andrew Stanley picks up his 5th strikeout of the outing. Right-hander's really dealing today on the mound. That one mistake he made was to catcher Max Imhoff, a breaking ball. That was hit over the left field wall because there was a runner on base. It was a 2-run home run back in the top of the third. That'll bring up the 6-hitter, Gabe Darcy. Darcy awaits the first pitch. The breaking ball can't quite catch the front door, and so that's a ball 1. Behind the plate, it's Aiden Garcia over at third, Colin Taylor. Evan Cornwell at short. Darcy swings and misses that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dylan Lina's at second. At first is Andrew Kirchner. In the outfield, from right to left, Deuce Robinson, Zach Freeman, and Raymond Jenkins. High chopper over there to the shortstop. Cornwell makes the throw from middle of the infield. And that's out number 2.
No bad on number 50, first baseman, Kaimana Martinez.
So 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Kaimana Martinez steps into the batter's box, hitting from the left side. First baseman had a rough bottom of the 3rd inning defensively. Missed a ball on a pickoff move over there that just missed his glove. Then on a throw from the 3rd baseman, Bale, just kind of misjudged where that ball was at, and it sailed right over his glove. Skips in the dirt in front of Kaimana Martinez's feet. 2-1 the count. Fouled off the backstop. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and nobody on base here in the top of the 4th inning. Again, thanks for tuning into Academy Barons Baseball. In the home half of the 4th inning, 2-3-4 will be due up. Here's the 2-2. Stanley misses that one. Runs the count full. Next pitch will be number 55 on the outing. Andrew Stanley, the big righty from the windup. Here's the pitch. This one sounded like a broken bat as it's fouled off towards the 3rd base side. Taylor has enough room as he makes the catch on the dirt over towards foul territory near the bullpen, and that's out number 3. And thanks for tuning in to Academy Barons Baseball here on the MLB Academy Barons YouTube channel. I'm Noah Alvarez. You can tune into all the home games here this season on this channel right here for you. But I do recommend you come out to the MLB Urban Youth Academy here on the campus of Compton College. Plenty of shade if you're worried about getting beaten up by the sun. Good sized turnout here on this Friday evening. Again, this is game number 4 on the week. Game number 7 on the season. New first baseman to tell you about, as after the rough bottom of the 3rd defensively, Cesar Chavez is going to back in at first base. Again, in the games that we've seen here for the Sunrays, and they've been here a lot. This is their 4th time here at the Academy. They've started Cesar Chavez each of those 3 games, and again, struggles offensively, but a lot more solid defensively, especially after that rough last half of the inning for Kaimana Martinez. He did get 2 ABs, however, wasn't able to come up with a hit or get on base. So Cesar Chavez now into the game. He went 1 for 4 offensively. He'll be taking over at first base. Still on the mound for the Sunrays is Nicholas Suspenzi, and he'll start things off with Zach Freeman, as this one does catch the inner lower quadrant for strike 1. It'll be Zach Freeman, Colin Taylor, and Roberto Bueno. Ooh, breaking ball missed a lot. 1 ball, 1 strike. Also missing there, very wide. Easy takes for Zach Freeman, the outfielder from Ohio State. This one plunks Zach Freeman, so he will be awarded first base. So runner on first to lead things off, and that's how the bottom of the 3rd started. So hopefully the Barons can cash in on some runs with the opportunity here. And Nicholas Suspenzi on the mound. Defensively for the Sunrays, it's Max Imhoff behind the plate. Tucker Bale over at 3rd. Braden Grantham at short. Owen Wessel at second, and Cesar Chavez into the game now at first. In right field, it's Gabe Darcy, Carson Case manning center, and Evan Rolbecky in left. Hit on the ground over to the third baseman, Bale. Bale starts over to Wessel. Wessel over to first, not going to be in time, so Taylor's able to beat it out. A fielder's choice. 5-4 for out number 1.
Number 38 designated hitter, Roberto Bueno.
So now Roberto Bueno will come up with a runner on first on 1 out in the inning. Played last spring at Cal State San Bernardino, but played in 2023 for the Compton Tartars here at the Academy on this very same field. So very familiar with this ballpark is Bueno. No balls, 1 strike. Wearing number 38 this summer. And this one also catches Bueno. Looked like on the thigh there. Second time this inning we've seen a hit by pitch. Advancing to second is Colin Taylor.
Andrew Kirchner.
That'll bring up the first baseman, Andrew Kirchner. He hit a line drive right to the center fielder, Carson Case, but some really strong contact. If you remember, Andrew Kirchner hit a home run back in Tuesday's victory. That came in the bottom of the second over the left center wall. This one misses in the dirt. Imhoff is able to corral it. 1 ball, no strikes. This one does catch the outer half. Suspenzi has a 1-1 count on the first baseman, Kirchner. Colin Taylor over at second, Roberto Bueno at first. 1 out. The lefty awaits. This one just misses in a very similar spot to that last pitch. This one's ruled the ball. Kirchner started 44 games for the Rustlers this past spring. Hit .317 on the year with 30 RBIs. Breaking ball misses. Was second team All-Orange Empire Conference in the spring season. And remember, the Rustlers went on to win the Orange Empire Conference for head coach Andrew Ramos. 3-1. This one also hit on the ground, but this time to Owen Wessel. Flips over to second for 1, and that's a 4-6-3 double play that ends the inning for the Barons. So they got that ground ball that they wanted earlier in the inning, and it was only able to get 1 out on a double play ball. This time they're able to capitalize and get the double play ball. 4-6-3 started by Owen Wessel. And thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons Baseball channel over on YouTube. After 4 complete innings, things are really breezing on by, and the Sunrays have a 2-1 lead here on this Friday evening. Again, thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball. Andrew Stanley still on the mound. Good to see the big right-hander making a quality start here. Giving up 2 runs. It was on a 2-run home run by Max Imhoff. That's the only mistake he's made. Defensively, he did make a mistake by giving up an error that allowed that runner to get on base, and that was the runner on base that scored on the home run by Max Imhoff. But other than that, Andrew Stanley's been pretty much on point in his start thus far. Trying to get through his 5th inning of work when we come back. 8-9-1, due up for the Sunrays order.
Hudson LaBarbera.
So now it'll be the 8-hitter, Hudson LaBarbera. To lead things off here in the top of the 5th. Sunrays lead 2-1. First pitch breaking ball. In on the outer half, 0-1 the count to the DH. On deck is the third baseman Tucker Bale. This one skips in the dirt as Aiden Garcia able to block it. 1-1 the count. Andrew Stanley on the mound. Ooh, tried to get the front door breaking ball going there, but couldn't quite catch the inner half. Stanley, a product of Golden West College before transferring to Wagner College. Spent time with Aiden Garcia in the 2023 season when Garcia was a freshman. Stanley was a sophomore. For the Rustlers and head coach Andrew Ramos over there. A lot of Rustlers connections here on the Academy Barons team. This one hit up into the air into shallow left field towards the foul line. Colin Taylor. No, it's Raymond Jenkins who calls off the shortstop, Evan Cornwell. Sort of a last-minute call-off, too, as Cornwell nearly collided with the left fielder. But the out is recorded for out number 1. So that'll bring up the third baseman, Tucker Bale, who squared up to bunt, but let that one miss the zone for ball 1. From the windup, Andrew Stanley delivers. This is a strike as Bale swings over the top of that one. 1-1 the count. One ball, one strike, and Tucker Bale misses at another one. Andrew Stanley has Tucker Bale guessing. This one swung on and missed, so Tucker Bale down via the strikeout. That's the 6th strikeout of the outing for Andrew Stanley. And there's 2 outs in the inning.
Leadoff hitter, Owen Wessel.
And so now to bring up the leadoff hitter, Owen Wessel. Orange Coast College alum. Was a sophomore last year for the Pirates. Currently uncommitted as of now. 0-1 the count as the first pitch breaking ball in there. This one tapped towards the shortstop. Cornwell awaits on the high hopper. Throws in time to Kirchner at first, and it's a 1-2-3 top of the 5th inning. So the score remains at 2-1. Dylan Lena will lead things off in the bottom of the 5th. Again, thanks for tuning in to Academy Barons Baseball. 6, 7, 8 when we come back after this brief break. Back here at the Academy, just about ready for the bottom of the fifth score update from Dallas as the Mavericks have a 73-41 lead over Boston. So if they do win tonight, they'll force a Game 5 Monday night. I was kind of surprised that Boston won those first 3 games so handedly. Nonetheless, the score 73-41 in favor of the Mavericks. In case some of you wanted to know that score, Dylan Linas hit on the very first pitch of the AB, so he will be marching over to first. Nicholas Suspenzi still on the mound for the Sunrays. 2-1 is the score here in the bottom of the fifth inning. They have a leadoff base runner on. Deuce Robinson, the number 7 hitter, who reached on an error and then scored on the double by Aiden Garcia. Steps into the batter's box, and this one misses outside. 1-0 the count. Again, Robinson playing football and baseball for the Trojans. Sure, that's got to be a lot to juggle. Football practice in the summers as well as Summer League baseball games. This one hit right up the middle past the pitcher, and that's going to skip into the outfield as Carson Case now has to handle it. Dylan Lina advances to second. Nice single there by Deuce Robinson. And now there's 2 runners on. Nobody out.
Now batting number 27, catcher Aiden Garcia.
And so now it looks like there's going to be a mound visit. Again, the Sunrays are led by head coach Grant Mayu. And it looks like their pitching coach. There is a man warming up in the bullpen by the name of Jake Spence, wearing number 16, Nicholas Suspenzi. Only at 54 pitches in the outing, but there is runners on first and second. Bottom of the fifth, nobody out. Sunrays do lead 2-1, so I'm sure those are all factors that play into the decision to leave Suspenzi into the game or not. So mound visit over as Max Imhoff returns back to behind the plate. Over at third, it's Tucker Bale, Braden Grantham at short, Owen Wessel at second, and Cesar Chavez at first. In right field, it's Gabe Darcy, Carson Case in center, and Evan Rolbecki in left field. At the plate, it's Aiden Garcia. He hit the RBI double and was gunned out at third, trying to extend it to a triple. First pitch is in there. No balls, 1 strike, nobody out, and 2 runners on. This one nearly gets away from Imhoff as he has to backhand it. 1-1 the count. Garcia was also a member of the Golden West Rustlers this past spring. This one hit up into the air, into shallow left. That could be a problem as Bale does catch it and calls off the shortstop Grantham. So no problems over there for the left side of the infield. And that's out number 1 here in the bottom of the fifth. That'll bring up the left fielder wearing number 19, Raymond Jenkins. He reached on an error and then was thrown out at third, trying to advance on a wild pitch. Suspenzi comes set. First pitch to Jenkins, swung on a miss. They're going to try and backpick Robinson, and he just beats the throw and tag. Chavez was covering late. 0-1 the count to Jenkins. Jenkins hit .313 for Barstow this past spring. In 34 games, this one skips away from Imhoff as that fastball ran inside. Had some tailing action to it, and both runners will advance 90 feet. So Lena over to third, Robinson over to second. Again, 2-1 is the score. So Lena is the tying run. Robinson would be the lead run. One ball, one strike, one out. Long look in here from Suspenzi as he gets the sign from Maximoff. Misses down and in. 2-1 the count. This one also misses, so it runs the count now to 3-1. Easy take there for Jenkins. On deck is the shortstop, Evan Cornwell. He's the top of the order. So a chance for the Barons to put up some runs here in the home half of the 5th inning. Suspenzi comes set, delivers the 3-1. An easy take for Raymond Jenkins, a 5-pitch walk. And now the bases are loaded with one out. And we'll see how long of a leash that Grant Mayu and the coaching staff.
Batting shortstop, number 5, Evan Cornwell.
Looks like the pitching coach is going to call time. The second mound visit of the inning. And it looks like we'll have a new pitcher strolling in. It's a left-hander. Once we get a number for you, we'll be able to tell you the name and some information on the new pitcher. Again, bottom of the 5th inning, bases are loaded. Batter due up is Evan Cornwell. He's a switch hitter. So with the lefty coming up, he will hit from the right side. So that'll be the day for Nicholas Suspenzi. He leaves with one out in the 5th inning, going 4 1/3. Final pitch count for Suspenzi is 62. But much better than his start last Saturday. He started last Saturday for the Sunrays here at the Academy and only recorded one out before being pulled in the 1st inning. So a lefty on the mound. Still haven't seen a number just quite yet as they're wearing different jerseys, so you don't have a number in the front. Kind of just like workout shirts, actually. Looks like number 20. If that is number 20, that's Jeremiah Enix from College of the Desert. We did see Enix in action. He actually took the loss in Saturday's game, if I remember correctly. Yep, he did. Again, Suspenzi started the game. Sawyer was the first one to come in out of relief, and Jeremiah Enix came into the game in the 4th and 5th inning. Gave up the lead in the 5th, gave up 3 runs, and that allowed the Barons to come out victorious. Again, they won that game by a score of 11-5. That was last Saturday. Currently 3-3 on the season, however, coming off 2 straight losses. 10-7 to the Conejo Oaks yesterday, and then 7-1 Wednesday night to the San Luis Obispo Blues. Tomorrow they take on the Conejo Oaks again here at the Academy. Come check us out. 6:05 if you can make it. And then Sunday they'll be hosting the Santa Barbara Foresters at 1:05, first pitch on Father's Day. So if you and your father don't got any plans, come check out a game here at the MLB Urban Youth Academy here on the campus of Compton College. So the new pitcher, again, Jeremiah Enix. As we pull up his stats on the season. For College of the Desert this past spring, he's a left-hander. Again, lost last Saturday after giving up 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th. Enix appeared in 10 games for the Roadrunners, started 1, Pitched 12 innings and finished with an ERA of 6.25.
Now pitching for the San Diego Sunrays.
So that's how Jeremiah Enix did for the College of the Desert Roadrunners this past spring. He's the new pitcher in the game, a left-hander that'll force Evan Cornwell to hit from the right side, the switch-hitting infielder from Post University, wearing number 5. Bases are loaded, 1 out. Enix kicks. This one, shot right over. No, Wessel's going to leap as he was running back to his left to make the catch for out number 2. I thought that one was just going to get over the glove, but not enough juice on it, and that's out number 2. A huge out as Cornwell is retired.
Now batting center fielder number 1, Zach Freeman.
And that'll bring up the center fielder, Zach Freeman. He had a 2-run home run yesterday to the Conejo Oaks. As it looks like they're going to get a new ball for the pitcher, Jeremiah Enix. Home plate umpire called time. Now cleans the plate. Bases loaded. Lena at third, Robinson at second, and Jenkins at first. Freeman's at the plate. Good speed all around. First pitch to Freeman. Ooh, it's a tough call there. Extending the zone maybe a bit for the left-hander. 0-1 the count. Freeman was hit by a pitch in his last AB and then reached on a walk. Was about to steal second before being called out on the batter's interference by Colin Taylor back in the first inning. 1-1 the count. Jeremiah Enix on the mound. Enix kicks, steals. This one's fouled back towards the dugout and into the netting. It's now a 1-2 count. So Freeman will have to battle with 2 strikes. Again, bases loaded. Got to cash in a run here in this opportunity. Enix pitching from the third base side of the rubber. Now comes set. Here's the 1-2 from the lefty. Also hit foul towards the left side, towards the riverbed. Or what used to be a riverbed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wind blowing out towards right field. Not a very windy day today. Here's the 1-2 again. Freeman didn't go around there, and so that's ruled the ball below the knees. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good discipline there by the center fielder. There was a 2-run home run yesterday for Zach Freeman. He finished the game with 2 RBIs, now has 4 RBIs on the season. Freeman fouls this one off again in the left side. It's going to be a tough out at the plate for Jeremiah Enix. Freeman was a huge part of the comeback on Tuesday as he led the 9th inning off with a triple. Hit it to deep center. He was the first one to come around to score as they walked that game off 7-6. This one also hit foul. So Freeman fighting, trying to stay in the batter's box and drive in a run. 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases are loaded here in the bottom of the 5th. Colin Taylor is the man on deck. The lefty awaits the 2-2. This one spikes and gets away from Imhoff. Lena's going to crash for home plate. No throw will be made, and the other runners trail and advance 90 feet. So on the wild pitch, Lena comes in to score. It's now a 2-2 game. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. First base is open now. Jeremiah Enix on the mound. Zach Freeman awaiting the 3-2. Again, on deck is Colin Taylor. Oh, this one runs in and hits Freeman on the elbow guard. At 88 miles per hour, too, so didn't have much time to get out of the way of that one.
Now batting third baseman.
So Freeman now is aboard first, hit by pitch. It's the second time he's hit today, so he'll be maybe a little sore, but did have that elbow guard right there. Not sure how much that he felt. Now to bring up the third baseman, Colin Taylor from LA Valley. Played for the Monarchs this past spring and helped the Monarchs win the Western State Conference. Hit .341 in 33 games for the Monarchs baseball team. Bases loaded, 2 outs. First pitch from Enix to Taylor is below the zone. 1-0 the count. Taylor watches this one get over on the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike to the third baseman. He reached on a fielder's choice in his last AB and then struck out and was called for that batter's interference that ended up resulting in a double play as Zach Freeman was called out. You don't see a whole lot of batter's interference getting called nowadays. 1-1. Oh, Taylor couldn't handle the pitch on the inner half. Looked like an off-speed pitch, the changeup. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Base is still loaded. It's a tie game. Roberto Bueno, the DH, is on deck. Enix comes set. Taylor just gets contact on this one and sends it out of play towards the right side. Count remains at 1-2. Robinson at third, Jenkins over at second, and Freeman is the man on first base. 2 outs in the inning. 1 ball, 2 strike count to Colin Taylor. And thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on the Academy of Barons YouTube channel. This one also fouled out of play just above the netting. And it's going to be a battle. Colin Taylor with a 1-2 count, and the base is loaded. In a 2-2 game. Enix kicks, delivers. This one also fouled out of play. So trying to stay alive is Colin Taylor, and so far he's succeeded. 1-2 count, and this next one will be the 7th pitch of the AB. Enix, again, coming set with the bases loaded. Taylor awaits. This one runs outside, showing night discipline there. Laying off the fastball that's running out. There's a changeup. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the third baseman. Colin Taylor went 2 for 5 yesterday in the loss to Conejo Oaks. Here's the 2-2. Oh, Colin Taylor can't handle the fastball downstairs, And that's out number 3 as Enoch Strands. The base is loaded. So nice pitching there by the lefty. Only allowing 1 run to come across via a wild pitch. The game is tied, but things could have been a lot worse for the Sunrays, as I'm sure the Barons are kicking themselves, wishing they could have got a couple more runs across with the bases loaded. So 3 runners left on. We transition to the top of the 6th now. Due up for the Sunrays, 2, 3, 4. And thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball. A score update from Dallas, 92-57. And barring any sort of miracle, looks like the Mavericks are going to win Game 4 of the NBA Finals and force a Game 5. And thanks for tuning in. We'll be right back in a few moments. Happy Friday here at the MLB Urban Youth Academy. Barons are taking on the San Diego Sunrays. Again, thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. Due up in this half of the inning will be 2, 3, 4 for the Sunrays. New pitcher to tell you about as it's the righty Christian Casillas, wearing number 37 for the Academy Barons. He's a right-hander from San Francisco State.
Now pitching number 37 for the Barons, Christian Casillas.
6'3" right-hander. Made 4 appearances for the Gators this spring in 2024. First pitch misses wide. 1-0 the count. This one does catch the zone. 1-1 the count. So the day is done for Andrew Stanley because he last was in the game when he was down. He won't be given the win after going 5 innings. Struck out 6 batters, gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 of which was earned, and allowed 1 walk, the final line for Andrew Stanley on 65 pitches. 1-2, this one's fouled off. Out of play. And Braden Grantham, the batter, first up here in the top of the 6th inning. Things are all tied up at 2-2. This one also hit on the ground for the shortstop Cornwell. Cornwell over to first in time, and he's been money today. 6-3 for out number 1. That'll bring up the catcher Max Imhoff, and they'll have to be very careful with him. He has a triple and a home run on the evening. 2 for 2. 2 hardest parts of the cycle. Casillas delivers a first pitch breaking ball over for a strike. 0-1 the count. Casillas pitches from the right side of the rubber towards first base. Aiden Garcia is still behind the plate. This one hit high up into the air, potentially in play for Andrew Kirchner. He's now in foul territory. Deuce Robinson looked like he called him off last minute and wasn't able to get to it as he was maybe a step and a half away from that ball. It moves the count to 0-2. The rest of the defense for the Barons, Colin Taylor's at third, Evan Cornwell's at short, Dylan Lena's at second, and Deuce Robinson is at, no, Andrew Kirchner is at first. Deuce Robinson is in right field. Zach Freeman's in center, and Raymond Jenkins is in left. No balls, 2 strikes to the catcher, Max Imhoff. Breaking ball hit right to the shortstop over his glove as that one had some steam on it, and Cornwell wasn't able to leap up into the air. So it's a single. Max Imhoff has a triple, home run, and a single. He's aboard on first base, and I'm sure we'll all pay close attention to his next AB, but due up next for the Sunrays is Carson Case. Carson Case hits from the left side. Drew a walk in his first AB and then popped up to the shortstop in his last AB, 0 for 1. Again, a nice clear day here in Southern California. This one misses outside, 1-1 the count. Temperature currently at 70 degrees. Two and 1 the count as this one misses upstairs. Again, Casillas, the new pitcher, taking over for Andrew Stanley. It's a 2-2 game. Runner on first is Max Imhoff. Kirchner, couldn't quite see the ball with the sun right there in his eyes. The way the sun is setting, really beaming on the right side of the infield. Both Kirchner and Imhoff shielding their eyes from the sun. This one smacked into right field, but into foul territory, into the bullpen. And it moves the count to 2-2. Case wearing number 44. Served as the right fielder in Tuesday's game. This one misses downstairs, and Max Imhoff runs back to first. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Casillas comes set. Carson Case fouls this one off to the left side. Now he's battling up there. Again, the outfielder from Santa Ana College. This one hit up into the air, and Garcia's going to have a look, but it's not going to be in play. Sailing over the press box. The count will remain at 3-2. Runner on first. This one hit into the air, potentially in play for the third baseman, Colin Taylor. He awaits, and there's out number 2. And so now to be the left fielder, Evan Rolbecki. Again, primarily an infielder and listed as an infielder for the Sunrays roster, but playing left field today. Trying to get some other infielders playing time for the Sunrays as his first pitch misses upstairs. 1-0 the count. He played primarily infield and third base for the Cypress Chargers this past spring. This one in on the outer half. 1-1 the count. A runner on first is Imhoff. There is 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. This one hit into the air, into left center. Jenkins going back, so is Zach Freeman. Where does this ball land? Off the wall. And so 1-1 will come across as Imhoff is now rounding third and making his way home. He taps home plate, and it's an RBI double, but that was nearly a 2-run home run for Evan Rolbecki. .98 miles per hour off the bat. Went 372 feet and stayed in the ballpark because he hit it to deep left center where some of the names are over there along with their team logo. So an RBI double for Evan Rolbecki. It's now a 3-2 lead for the San Diego Sunrays, and that'll bring up the 6-hitter Gabe Darcy. First pitch from Casillas to him, and he's using that breaking ball often. First pitch strike, 0-1 the count. Runner on second. Dylan Lena, the second baseman, holding with the righty up to bat. Ooh, Darcy helping the pitcher out here. It's now an 0-2 count. Christian Casillas coming set. Here's the 0-2. This one hit on the ground over to Dylan Lena. Lena fires over to first in time, and that's out number 3. But the Sunrays retake the lead here in the top of the 6th. They now lead 3-2 thanks to the RBI double by Evan Rolbecki. So 3-2 is the score as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Again, thanks for tuning into Academy Barons Baseball here on the MLB Academy Barons YouTube channel. 4-5-6, Roberto Bueno will lead things off here in the home half of the 6th. Again, we'll be right back with the 6th inning after a short break.
Now batting designated hitter, number 38, Roberto Bueno.
So it'll be the DH, Roberto Bueno, leading things off here in the home half of the 6th. Sunrays lead 3-2 over the Academy Barons. Barons entered tonight with a record of 3-3. Sunrays are 1-3. Jeremiah Enix is still on the mound. He got the last 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. Bueno hits from the right side from Cal State San Bernardino. And this one misses upstairs. 1-0 the count. Enix kicks, delivers a strike, the first strike of the AB here. 1-1 the count to Roberto Bueno. He was hit by a pitch in his last AB and then struck out swinging back in the bottom of the second. This one misses, runs away from Bueno, the right-hander. 2-1 the count. And Bueno didn't get to play yesterday. It was Cornwell who manned the DH spot. Taylor was at third and Lena was at second. Bueno had a rough day defensively against the San Luis Obispo Blues on Wednesday night. On the game, he went 0 for 3 as well with the walk. So just a rough day in general on Wednesday for Roberto Bueno. He has a 3-1 count here on Jeremiah Enix. Can't catch up to the heater. Three balls, two strikes to the DH. Barons are looking for win number 4. Currently trailing 3-2. This one swung on and missed as Bueno can't make contact on the full count pitch and goes down for the second strikeout in the evening.
First baseman number 9, Andrew Kirchner.
And that'll bring up the first baseman, Andrew Kirchner. So a lefty on lefty matchup here for Enix and Kirchner. Kirchner flew out. It was a hard line out right to the center fielder, Carson Case, and then he also grounded into a double play. That double play came back in the bottom of the fourth. It ended the threat there for the Barons. He hit a solo home run back in Tuesday's win. Back in the bottom of the second, Tuesday night against the San Diego Sunrays. It was off of Haas Fregoso. Those two have had some battles playing in the Orange Empire Conference. Haas Fregoso over at Santa Ana College while Kirchner was at Golden West. Kirchner slaps at this one and hits it foul to the left side. 1-1 the count. Getting kind of chilly here as the sun begins to set. Still not a cloud in sight here over the Compton skies. The lights are on here at the MLB Urban Youth Academy. Here's the 1-1. Ooh, this one does tail back onto the outer half. Again, off the lefty's arm that has that two-seam tail action. Can't give up on it even if it starts outside because it dives back in at the last minute, catching the outer half. One ball, two strikes. One out in the inning and no one on base. Oh, this one runs up and into Kirchner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Max Imhoff behind the plate. Tucker Bale over at third. Braden Grantham at short. Owen Wessel at second. Cesar Chavez at first. Evan Rolbecki's in left. Carson Case is in center. And Gabe Darcy is in right field. Defense for the Sunrays. Here's the 2-2 pitch from Enix. Fouled back into the netting. So count will remain at 2-2. Enix on the mound in relief of Nicholas Suspenzi. The lefty delivers on home. This one's hit on the ground just past the diving Grantham at short. And so Kirchner has a 1-out single here in the bottom of the 6th.
Second baseman number 13, Dylan Lena.
So Andrew Kirchner takes the changeup up the middle, and he's aboard on first. Dylan Lena now, his teammate over at Golden West, steps into the batter's box. He scored the second run of the game after being hit by a pitch. Was at third and scored on the wild pitch by Jeremiah Enix. Kirchner at first. Cesar Chavez is the man holding him over there defensively. First pitch to Dylan Lena as he comes up empty on the hack. 0-1. That'll be pitch number 30 for Enix in relief. The lefty comes set. This one misses down and in. Kirchner thought about going, and he quickly scurries back to first. 1-1 the count. There's one out in the inning. Again, thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on this Friday evening, or if you're watching at a later date, we appreciate you for tuning in. This one fouled back into the backstop padding. It's a 1-2 count. Lena played over at St. John Bosco his senior year over in the city of Downey before going to play for Golden West College. Here's the 1-2 to Dylan Lena, and Lena goes down swinging as that's out number 2. So Lena comes up empty in a big spot there. 2 outs, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Deuce Robinson. Robinson on the day, 1 for 2. Came around to score, reached on an error. Scored the first run of the game back in the 3rd inning for the Barons. Enix has a runner on first, comes set. Robinson comes up empty there. A lot of changeups we're seeing from Jeremiah Enix here. Enix delivers. This one's hit on the ground to Wessel. Wessel going to his left, has time to set his feet, make the throw, and that's the 3rd and final out. So 4-3 for out number 3. 3-2 is the score as we head to the top of the 7th. Again, thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons channel. You can tune into all the home games here for the Academy Barons this summer on the YouTube channel. But I recommend you make a visit to the MLB Urban Youth Academy here on the campus of Compton College. It's a nice ballpark, plenty of seating, and they have those chairs here with that backrest, so you're not sitting on bleachers unless you want to. There are some bleachers further back, but they do have some seats with the backing on it, so it's better than some of the other like high school stadiums you'll see with just the regular stereotypical, I guess, bleachers you could say that you have to kind of fix your posture on. Nonetheless, we're here on the top of the 7th. Christian Casillas on the mound. He was the first man in relief for Andrew Stanley. Barons trail 3-2. Leading things off will be Cesar Chavez getting his first AB of the day, 7-8-9, so it's the bottom of the order for the Sunrays. And the lights are on here at the Urban Youth Academy, built in 2006 as a not-for-profit organization. They have a lot of things, a lot of events going on year-round, but in the summer, it plays host to the Academy Barons. During the spring, it plays host to the Compton Tartars baseball team here on Compton College. Right on the corners of Santa Fe and Artesia. Very accessible off the 91 freeway. First batter steps into the batter's box. Chavez watches a ball drift outside. 1-0 the count. And Casillas on the mound from San Francisco State this past spring, a junior. This one hit foul to the left side. Before transferring to San Francisco State, was a member of the Cypress Chargers in 2022. Played for the LA Harbor baseball team in 2023. This one misses. 2-1 the count. Made 13 appearances with LA Harbor. This one skips off the knee pad of Aiden Garcia. 3-1 the count. This one hit on the ground to the shortstop Cornwell. He charges. Oh, that took a wicked hop as it was staying relatively low and then just bounced up and looks like it caught Cornwell in the eye or in the face as he rubs his face, the left side of his face. We hope he's okay. That one had some nasty ricochet as it hit off his face and took one big hop over to Dylan Lena over at second. So we're going to rule that an error or a hit. So sometimes they call that a ground ball with the eyes, as it took a nasty hop right for Evan Cornwell's face. Glad he's okay. He's going to stay into the game. Might consider wearing a mouth guard after that one. First pitch from Casillas. This one thrown down to first, but beating the throw is Chavez. That one is ruled a strike, so it's an 0-1 count to Hudson La Barbera. Missing the zone, 1-1 the count. This one tapped, foul towards the left side. 1-2 the count now. Casillas coming set. Oh, and the batter went around, says the home plate umpire, and so that's strike 3 for out 1, number 1. So Hudson La Barbera is down via the strikeout, and I'll bring up the third baseman, Tucker Bale, who steps into the batter's box for the third time this evening. 0 for 2 with the strikeout and a ground out. Runner on first is Cesar Chavez. On deck is the top of the order, the leadoff hand, Owen Wessel. Top of the 7th inning, Sunrays lead 3-2. First pitch is in there for a strike. Casillas doing a nice job of getting ahead of the hitters here in his relief appearance. Second outing on the season for Casillas. Runner takes off from first. Here's a throw down from Garcia. Not going to be in time. There's an athletic tag there by Dylan Lena. That throw was a little high. Lena had to leap, and as he was leaping, sliding right underneath his legs was Cesar Chavez. So the infielder from Cal State LA gets a stolen base. He's at second. There's one out in the inning, and it's now a 2-1 count. Again, we've seen 4 different catchers start this year for the Barons. Aiden Garcia getting a second start. Yesterday it was Andrew Pyle who started for the Barons, and he had a nice day at the plate, going 3 for 5 with an RBI and a run scored. Tucker Bale decides to not go around. A wise decision to lay off the breaking ball. 3-1 the count. We've also seen Adam Arroyo as well as Isaac Ocampo, the 4 catchers to get starts this summer. Arroyo's also started as a DH in some of the games as well. This one's hit on the ground on the third baseman. Taylor throws back over to second, and applying the tag is Lena, so Chavez Got caught leaning too far, was trying to advance to third, but Taylor was running to his left, right towards second base.
Batting leadoff
Makes a
for
nice
the
flip.
fielder,
Applying the tag down is Lena.
Owen Wessel.
5-4 for out number 2. Ruled out a fielder's choice for Tucker Bale. And now with 2 outs, it'll be the leadoff hitter, Owen Wessel from Orange Coast College. The only player on the roster from Orange Coast College, but on the Barons roster, Jimmy Welsher played for the Pirates this past spring. So Wessel and Welsher are teammates. This one misses well outside. 1-1 the count to Owen Wessel. He grounded out to short in his last AB. Has 2 groundouts and reached on an error and came around to score. 0 for 3 on the evening. Casillas throws over to first, but back in with the slide is Tucker Bale. Bale has some pretty good speed. He's long and lengthy as well. Another throw over. This one a closer play at first, but Bale still back in safely. This one missing the zone. This one hit foul out of play to the right side. It's now a 2-2 count. Next pitch will be number 40 for Christian Casillas on the outing. And he came back into the game in the top of the 6th, trying to complete his 6th inning of work, 2nd inning of work. Breaking ball, that was a big one, potentially in play for Aiden Garcia. Kirshner gives it a look, but it bounces off the top of the first base dugout. Count remains at 2-2. Due up in the home half of the 7th inning before or after the 7th inning stretch will be Aiden Garcia, the 8-hitter. So 8-9-1. Aiden Garcia, Raymond Jenkins, and then Evan Cornwell. This one fouled out of play as well towards the building near the lunch area. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first. Barons trail 3-2. Sunrays have 3 runs off of 5 hits and 3 errors defensively. This one hit on the ground to the shortstop Cornwell. No funky hops this time. He flips it the short way to second. Lena's covering, and that's out number 3.
Midway through the 7th, we want to give a huge, huge shout out to our ball boy, future Baron, Mr. Morelli. Come on, Morelli, say hi to everyone.
Pretty cool moment here on the field as the ball boy, Mr. Morelli, gets to say hi to the entire fan base. Always cool to see moments like that at the ballpark. He's just to the left of your screen, so unfortunately he's not in the camera shot. But they are giving a standing ovation. 7th inning stretch time, so we'll take a brief break to stretch and stay active here. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Aiden Garcia will lead things off for the Barons in the home half of the 7th. They're trailing by 1. 3-2 is the score. We'll be back in just a moment. Bottom of the 7th inning here. Aiden Garcia will lead things off, and there's a new pitcher, a righty, for the San Diego Sunrays out of the University of Pennsylvania, so an Ivy League school, Andrew Mahey. First pitch to Aiden Garcia in at 85 miles per hour, but just missing the zone. 1-0 the count. So that'll be the end of Jeremiah Enix's line today. Goes 1 2/3 of an inning. Came into the game with the bases loaded situation and only allowed one run to come across on the wild pitch. So he was able to put out the fire immediately, coming into a tough situation. Sunrays still currently lead 3-2. Aiden Garcia, the catcher from Golden West, misses down and in. 3-0 the count. Easy takes. Raymond Jenkins is the man on deck. Garcia went to San Dimas High School. A lot of players from San Dimas on that Golden West roster from what I remember as well. This one does catch the zone. 3-1 now the count. Garcia popped up to the third baseman in his last AB. Had an RBI double in his first. 1 for 2 on the evening. Garcia swings over the top of that one. Also in at 85 miles per hour. Off the arm of Andrew Mahey. He's the new arm to tell you about. Ivy League guy on the mound. Ivy League guy behind the plate. Max Imhoff went to Yale University. Still going to Yale University. This one misses upstairs, and so Aiden Garcia is able to work the walk. So nobody out in the inning. There is a runner on first, and Aiden Garcia, the left fielder Raymond Jenkins, now steps into the batter's box. Wearing number 19. 0 for 1 on the day. Did draw a walk. Reached on an error. As he steps out to get the signs from his third base coach. Relaying the signs to his runner and his outfielder at the plate. Cesar Chavez defensively holding the runner at first. This one fouled off to the right side. 0-1 the count. Tucker Bales over there at third. Braden Grantham at short. Owen Wessels at second. Tyler Mahey is the man on the mound. This one nearly hits Raymond Jenkins as he squared around to bunt. He was already ducking down, so he just had to get lower as that breaking ball was aiming for his helmet there. 1-1 the count. Scary moment, but no one's hurt. Jenkins shows bunt again, and this one misses well upstairs. 2-1 the count. Jenkins got the day off yesterday with Freeman, Cisneros, and Burke, the three outfielders, starting in their road game at Thousand Oaks. Jenkins showing bunt one more time. This one does catch the top third of the zone. He shakes his head in disappointment. Not a fan of the call there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Aiden Garcia still at first. The man on deck is the leadoff hitter, Evan Cornwell. This one missing upstairs, above the letters. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on base, or sorry, nobody out. Runner on first. More signs being given by the third base coach. Garcia stays put. This one swung on and fouled off the glove. Imhoff had it, but it squirted out, and so that's another chance for Raymond Jenkins to find a way to get on base here in the bottom of the 7th. (3-2). This one's blown right past Raymond Jenkins as he set down via the strikeout for out number 1.
Batting leadoff hitter, shortstop, number 5, Evan Cornwell.
And so now it's the number 1 hitter, the leadoff hitter, Evan Cornwell. He popped up to second base in his last AB, 0 for 3 on the evening. Primarily hits in that leadoff spot for the Barons this summer. Started yesterday as a DH when the Barons were on the road. First one misses down and away. 1-0 the count. Cornwell's is a switch hitter. Hit from the right side with Jeremiah Enix on the mound. This one in the same spot, 2-0. 2 easy takes for Cornwell. He was a senior at Post University, so a veteran player who's seen a lot of ABs. From Pompton Lakes, New Jersey, so East Coast kid. This one also misses outside, running away from the left-handed hitter. 3-0 the count, and Imhoff's going to go have a chat with the pitcher, Andrew Mahey. Home plate umpire cleans off the plate. Again, runner on first, 3-0 count. 3-2 is the score. Sunrays lead. 2 more games to come check out the Barons this weekend. Tomorrow they'll host the Conejo Oaks. 6:05 first pitch. And then Sunday at 1:05 they'll be hosting the Santa Barbara Foresters. And if you don't have plans this weekend, come on down to the Academy here at the campus of Compton College. We'll have 3 games next week as well, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday home games. This one does catch the outer half, so Andrew Mahey trying to work backwards here. 3-1 the count. Cornwell and the Barons looking to get that run across and at least tie things up here. This one fouled back into the netting. We've seen a lot of that today. 3-2 now the count. This game's moved at a fast pace. Not even 8:15 yet, and we're here in the bottom of the 7th. Still plenty of, not plenty, but quite a bit of daylight. The lights are on here at the Academy. This one misses, and that's ball 4. So Andrew Mahey does battle back to work it full. Aiden Garcia will advance to second now. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Zach Freeman. He's been hit by a pitch twice. Also drew a walk. Again, more conversations being had between the catcher and pitcher, Max Imhoff, and the pitcher, Andrew Mahey. Both Ivy League guys, too, so I'm sure those are, wonder what those conversations are like. Probably big words. Zach Freeman now steps into the batter's box, hitting from the left side. First pitch misses downstairs, 1-0 the count. Freeman had a good day yesterday at the plate, going 2 for 3, had a 2-run home run. As the Barons came up short, 10-7 was the final score yesterday. This one in the dirt. Imhoff able to block that one, sliding to his right. 2-0 the count. Now looks like the pitching coach is going to call time. Andrew Mahey just never looked really right up there. His catcher went to go talk to him a few times. Now the pitching coach is going to go over and talk to him. Again, thanks for tuning in. Let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule coming up for the Academy Barons. They had 6 games this week, not as busy as a week next week coming up. And so 2 more games tomorrow and Sunday. Come check us out here at the Academy. Tuesday, they'll be back in action as they host the Arroyo Seco Saints. Then on Thursday, they'll be hosting the OC Riptide. On Friday, they're on the road playing at the Arroyo Seco Saints home field. I believe that's in Pasadena or in that area. And on June 22nd, they'll be home for the Ventura County Pirates. Those are the home games next week. Also on Sunday, to end the week off, they'll have a road game against the Arroyo Seco Saints. So 2 games against the Saints on the road. They have a third on Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday. So 3 games against the Saints in total, 1 against the Riptide, once against the Ventura Pirates. And that's the schedule ahead, looking ahead for next week. Tuesday, Thursday at home, Friday on the road, Saturday at home, and Sunday on the road. First pitch, Zach Freeman off the edge of the bat. The shortstop making a sliding stop. Not going to be able to get it. It skips away from Chavez. Now coming home is Aiden Garcia, and our Aiden Garcia is able to get in to home plate and score without a throw. So rule that an error. E6 on the throwing error. I think that was going to be an infield single regardless for Zach Freeman as he was flying down. But E6 allows him to advance to second. No, he stays at first, excuse me. And going to third is Evan Cornwell. And scoring is Aiden Garcia. So now it's a 3-3 game. Okay, nice athleticism there by the shortstop Grantham to get to it. However, not able to make a good throw, and the hop tricked Cesar Chavez. It bounced well over his head. First pitch misses well wide. 1-0 the count to Colin Taylor. Again, Andrew Mayhe really struggling to throw strikes here. Things are all tied up, 3-3. The Barons have a lot of fight in them this summer. Runner from first takes off. Freeman is able to get in with the stolen base. Imhoff bluffed the throw and looked over to third, but nothing doing, so it's a stolen base for Freeman. Tried to get a stolen base earlier in the game, but Colin Taylor, the man at the plate, was called for batter's interference. So now there's 2 runners in scoring position, second and third with 1 out. A 1-1 count. The freshman from LA Valley stepping into the batter's box. This one, does catch the zone. Zips in there at 84 miles per hour off of Andrew Mayhe's arm. 1-2 the count. This one skips away from Imhoff, and now charging the plate is Evan Cornwell. Imhoff still hasn't been able to find it. Freeman thought about going, but now stays put at third. Time is called by the home plate umpire. It's a 2-2 count. Another run comes across on the wild pitch. Another runner 90 feet away. So now 2 runs have come across here in the home half of the 7th. Barons have a 4-3 lead. Sunrays infield's going to play in at the edge of the grass, hoping for a hard hit ground ball and preventing the runner to score from third. Here's the 2-2 to Colin Taylor. This one smacked into left field. Going back is Rolbecki. He does make the catch, but that's going to be long enough and deep enough for an sac fly RBI. So 2 outs in the inning, but another run comes across. 3 runs now in the bottom of the 7th. Barons have a 5-3 lead. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Roberto Bueno, the DH tonight. 0 for 2 with the hit by pitch. Does miss the outer half. So some late inning magic here again by the Barons, this time in the 7th inning. In Tuesday night's victory, it was in the 9th. That one swung on and missed by Bueno. Again, Bueno played for the Compton Tartars before transferring to Cal State San Bernardino. This one does get painted on the outer half. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Went to LA Harbor first before transferring to Compton College. Played for the Seahawks 1 season. The Tartars for another. This one skips packed him off, but no one's on base, so no harm, no foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two to two is the count. 2 outs, no one on base. Roberto Bueno watches this one miss upstairs. Nice take there by the DH tonight. Looking to get on any way possible. Full count. Andrew Kirchner on deck. Bueno trying to extend the inning for the Barons offense. 3-2 hit on the ground to the shortstop. Clean grounder for Grantham. Fires over to first in time, but 3 runs do come across here in the bottom of the 7th. The Barons now have a 5-3 lead here as we head to the top of the 8th. Again, thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on the MLB Urban Youth Academy Barons channel here on YouTube. New pitcher to tell you about for the Academy Barons when we come back. 2-3-4 do it for the Sun Rays, and a new pitcher to tell you about in just a few moments. So Miles Hughes is the new pitcher to tell you about for the Academy Barons. He's one of, I could be wrong, but I believe he's one of 2 players here on the roster attending Compton College, where he played this past spring for Compton College. The first batter he'll face here in the top of the 8th is Braden Grantham, the shortstop. Hughes pitches from the left side. First pitch misses. 1-0 the count to the shortstop. It'll be him, followed by the catcher, Imhoff. And the center fielder, Carson Case. Ooh. Close miss there. Let's rule the ball. Hughes pitching from the stretch, even though no one's on. Kick, steals. That one's over for a strike. 2-1 the count. This one missing outside. 3-1 the count to the shortstop. Again, yep, Hughes did play for Compton College. Went to Carson High School. Played for Cerritos in the 2023 season. 3 balls, 2 strikes as he's battling back. Full count now to the leadoff hitter here in the top of the 8th. Again, Barons lead 5-3. Hughes, the new man on the mound. The lefty wearing number 6 was a late addition to the roster. Hughes delivers. This one catches, painted right there on the bottom half, and that's strikeout for out number 1. Good work by Aiden Garcia behind the plate, framing that one, and Braden Grantham goes down via the strikeout for the 2nd time this evening. Now here's someone that you're going to have to pay close attention to. Max Imhoff has a triple, a home run, and a single on the evening. The double away from the cycle. Again, the catcher from Yale University has had a nice day here at the plate. Got the first 2 hard ones out of the way, the triple and the home run. Had a single in his last AB. Sure that's something that was talked about in his dugout. 1 out here in the top of the 8th. Hughes facing Imhoff. First pitch is over for a strike. 0-1 the count. Lefty pitching from the third base side of the rubber. Comes set. Delivers on home and runs inside. 85 on the radar gun. 1-1. Not missing by much. One from Hughes. Ooh, Imhoff looking silly there. Chased the pitch well out of the zone. Changeup drifting away from the right-handed hitter. 1-2 the count. Max digging in. Awaits the 1-2 from Hughes, and he goes down swinging. So huge out there as Hughes is able to retire the first 2 hitters via the strikeout. Also important because Max Imhoff was a double away from the cycle. Hughes not allowing that happening on his watch. 2 outs here now in the top of the 8th, and in steps the center fielder, Carson Case from Santa Ana College. Again, had a lot of fun broadcasting the Santa Ana Dons games this spring. This one's nubbed out to the shortstop. Going to be a tough play for Cornwell. Bobbles it and not going to be in time. So an infield single. That'll bring up the left fielder, Evan Rolbecki. As Carson Case is aboard first. They give him an air E6 on Cornwell. This one's a high chopper again to Cornwell. He'll get another chance. Oh, nice short pick there as he had to play that tweener hop and not allow it to make another big hop. And so Cornwell making a nice veteran move there on the very next play, making up for the error, and that's the 3rd out here in the top of the 8th. The Sunrays are down to their final 3 outs. They trail by 2 runs. 5-3 is the score as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Last chance for the Barons to put up some insurance runs. Again, thanks for tuning in to Academy Barons Baseball here on the Academy Barons YouTube channel. So it's the bottom of the 8th inning here. Due up first is Andrew Kirchner. The 5, 6, 7 hitters are the 3 due up. And there's a new pitcher to tell you about, Brian Fernandez. So that means the day is done for Andrew Mayhe. So Mayhe only able to go 1 inning. He gave up the lead. He'll be credited with the loss. And now Imhoff is going to go talk to Fernandez. Fernandez listed as a right-handed pitcher from the University of Hawaii Pacific. Again, he used 30 pitches just to work that 1 inning. Gave up 3 runs in the process. Walked 2 batters. Did strike out 1 as Imhoff makes his way behind the plate. First pitch to Kirchner, swung on and missed. In at 80 miles per hour off the hand of Fernandez, the new pitcher, wearing number 27 on the mound. Rolls the pants up, showing the socks. Don't see a lot of players rocking that nowadays unless it's stirrups. Kirchner hits it right back to Fernandez. Fernandez takes a couple strides over to first. Underhand tosses it to the first baseman. 1-3 for out number 1. So tough day at the plate for Andrew Kirchner. But that'll bring up the second baseman, Dylan Lena. Lena's 0 for 2 on the evening. Was hit by a pitch and came around to score. It was the second run of the game for the Barons. They lead 5-3. Ooh. And I think that was weird. Weird reaction there by Max Imhoff. He might have gotten crossed up by the pitcher. Kind of like held his back heel. I don't know if the umpire stepped on him or is just a weird like churning movement. So Fernandez getting talked to by Imhoff. Imhoff heads back to the plate. Some fireworks go off in the distance past right field. One ball, no strikes, 1 out. Barons lead 5-3. Bottom of the 8th inning, looking for some insurance runs. Lena watches this one cross over the zone. Big breaking ball misses out of the zone. It's now a 2-1 count to the second baseman from Golden West College. Playing a lot of second base this summer. Started the first 2 games of the year at third. He's the only Barons player to start all 7 games in the lineup. This one drilled into left field, and that's going to be a single here with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. A breaking ball that caught a lot of the plate, and Lena was able to keep his weight back on it and dump it into left field in front of Evan Rolbecki. And so now to bring up the right fielder, Deuce Robinson, with 1 out. Robinson had a single back in the 5th. He reached on an error back in the 3rd and came around to score the first run of the game for the Barons. Lena at first. First pitch to Robinson, misses. Ooh. Robinson does have a bigger zone. He stands at 6'6". So I think to everybody else that would have been ruled the ball, but Robinson has a big zone. From Pinnacle High School over in Arizona, swings through that one, and now it's a 0-2 count. Where's number 44? Oh, 2 hit on the ground over to the shortstop. Oh, now coming up with it cleanly is Grantham. Grantham not going to be able to get anybody out. E6 as Lena advances to second safely. Again, did everything right, looked fundamentally sound, just forgot the ball as it kicked off the tip of his glove, stayed on the ground as he took a couple steps without realizing, as he went to go flip it, realized the glove was empty, had to retreat a couple steps. So now that'll bring up Aiden Garcia with 1 out. Drew a walk and came around to score. This one fouled off the netting, and that was a nice aggressive swing there by Garcia. He's on it, seeing the ball well. Again, part of the trio here from Golden West College, all getting the start today. Dylan Lena, Andrew Kirchner, and Aiden Garcia. They have a pitcher from that team as well, Grant Ferris, the 4. This one misses in the dirt. Amoff lets it hit the chest plate. Bounces right in front of him. 1-1 the count. Very active catcher back there. Garcia watches this one miss outside. Good discipline there. 2-1 the count. Garcia went to San Dimas High School before going to play for the Golden West Rustlers. Played both seasons. Played a lot of games in both seasons as well. This one chopped foul to the right side off the base of the wall, right to the first base coach. Makes a play with the bare hand. Garcia started 45 games for the Rustlers this past spring, but also started 42 games in 2023 for Golden West. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lena bouncing around a lot over there at second. Breaking ball, that does catch the outer half. Garcia gave up on it too soon, and that's out number 2. So big strikeout there for Brian Fernandez. A strikeout for out number 2, and that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Raymond Jenkins. He's 0 for 2 on the day with a walk. Reached on an error back in the 3rd inning as well. Oh, this one plunks Jenkins right there in the hip. And so he reaches first. Everyone else advances 90 feet. Bases are now loaded with 2 outs, and it's the top of the order, Evan Cornwell. So again, a chance here for some insurance runs. They leave 5-3. They're going to the top of the 9th. 2 up is the 6, 7, 8 hitters for the San Diego Sunrays. Cornwell swings through the first one. 0-1 the count. Lena over at third, Deuce Robinson at second, and Raymond Jenkins is the runner at first. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 0-1 count to Evan Cornwell. He drew a walk in his last AB. This one misses outside. 1-1 the count. He's 0 for 3 on the afternoon. Also runs high and wide. 2-1 the count. Nowhere left to put him. So Fernandez does have to find the zone and come into Evan Cornwell, who's at the plate, the switch hitting infielder. This one hit into the air, potentially in play. Tucker Bell's going to have a look, but realizes it's out of play. So 2 balls, 2 strikes is the count now. 2 outs. Bases juiced. Barons have a 2-run lead. 5-3 is the score. They got 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th, and 3 in the 7th. While the Sunrays got 2 in the 3rd and 1 in the 6th. Fernandez kicks, delivers, 2-2. Fouled out of play, left side. Just past the bleachers out there. Okay, good speed on the bases with 2 outs. The runners will be going on contact. So ball in the gap could plate 3 runs. If Evan Cornwell is able to find a gap, see something he likes. Here's the 2-2 from Fernandez. Misses well outside. Imhoff lays out just to prevent that one from hitting the padding. Now runs the count full after an easy take there for Cornwell. On deck is the center fielder, Zach Freeman. Fernandez, here's the 3-2. This one misses. And so Cornwell works the walk. Coming in to score is Dylan Lena. Deuce Robinson advances to 3rd. Jenkins to 2nd. And on first with the walk is Cornwell. He now has 2 walks in the evening. Another run comes across here in the bottom of the 8th. It's now a 6-3 lead. Making things a little easier for whoever comes out to pitch in the 9th inning. 6-3 is the score. Freeman awaits the first pitch, misses outside, and it looks like the control starting to get away from Fernandez. Got the first out, no problem. Gave up a single. Someone reached on an error. Should have been a double play ball. But Deuce Robinson now at 3rd after reaching on the error. 2-0 the count. These haven't been even close. This one hit into the air, foul territory left side, out of play. 2 balls, 1 strike. And Brian Fernandez on the mound. Thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on the Academy of Barons YouTube channel, wherever you're tuning in from. Here's the 2-1. Also hit into the air to the exact same location. Drifting past the trees, just past the bullpen over there on the 3rd base side and into probably the riverbed over there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded again, still in the bottom of the 8th. 6-3 is the score. Freeman at the plate. He had a single in his last AB, was hit by a pitch twice, so he's 1 for 1. This one also hit into the air, and again drifting to that same spot. He drew a walk, was hit by a pitch twice, and then had a single back in the 7th. Came around to score. So 1 for 1. Has been on base 4 times today. Scored a run. Has a stolen base. This one tapped foul. Weakly to the right side, out of play. This will be the 7th pitch of the AB. Here's the 2-2 once again. Another breaking ball I missed well wide. Sort of some deja vu right there as Fernandez went with the 2-2 breaking ball, but it missed badly. Easy takes for the Barons hitters. Freeman awaits the 3-2. Runners will be in motion. This one's poked over the third baseman. Now Raymond Jenkins going to be waved around to score. Being held up at third is Evan Cornwell, and it's an RBI double for Zach Freeman. So now 2 more runs come across. It's a 8-3 game. So Robinson and Jenkins come around to score on the double. 8-3 is the score. Over at third is Evan Cornwell. Zach Freeman's at second. And now the Barons have blown the door wide open on this thing. Colin Taylor now stepping in. It's the 8th man that the Barons have set to the plate here in this half of the inning. Still 2 outs. Taylor, a little early on that one, but does foul it back. Out of play. 0-1 the count to the third baseman. No balls, 1 strike to Colin Taylor. Ooh, breaking ball that just missed and fouls it back into the netting. 0-2 the count. Those can be hard to track. Got to wait a long time. Keep that weight on the back leg. Got to show some good discipline and patience. This one misses high, a little bit inside as well. Colin Taylor unfazed by that pitch. 1-2 the count. He had a sac fly RBI in his last AB. 0 for 3 on the evening, 2 strikeouts. Oh, Taylor chases the breaking ball outside the zone, and that's out number 3. So unfortunately, he can't lay off the nasty stuff of Brian Fernandez. That's the 3rd and final out, but 3 runs did come across here in the bottom of the 8th, pushing it to an 8-3 lead here as we head to the top of the 9th. Barons are in control. Again, thanks for tuning in to Barons Baseball here on the MLB Academy Barons YouTube channel. Due up here in the top of the 9th, 6, 7, 8. Gabe Darcy, Cesar Chavez, and Hudson La Barbera, barring any substitutions. Looks like Miles Hughes is going to come back out to the mound for the Academy Barons. Can highly recommend you come out to a game here at the Urban Youth Academy this summer. 2 more chances to do so this weekend. A game tomorrow at 6:05. They take on the Conejo Oaks. And then Sunday they take on the Santa Barbara Foresters. That'll be on Father's Day. First pitch scheduled at 1:05, but come check us out here at the MLB Urban Youth Academy. Nice little ballpark. Plenty of shade. You can bring whatever snacks and drinks you would like. They have the bleachers, but they also have the chairs right here too in the shaded area. Chairs that have the backrest on them, so I know that's always a concern when you go to the ballpark, especially at the lower levels. You see the bleachers, but no backrest. Well, here at the Urban Youth Academy, that's the selling point. We got some backrest for you guys if you want to come check us out. And again, if you can't make it to the Urban Youth Academy, you can always check us out here on YouTube. All the home games will be streamed here on the MLB Youth Academy YouTube channel for the Academy Barons. This is game number 7 of the summer. It'll be a busy summer indeed, but we're glad to be a part of it as the Barons will look to do better this year in 2024 and fight for a postseason spot. They're 3-3 on the year. And so now, pinch hitting for the 6-hitter is Dante Flashberg. Flashberg steps in, misses, has Miles Hughes still on the mound. He did allow a runner on in his first inning of work, but that was via an error. So got 4 outs in that inning. This one misses in the dirt. 2-0 the count. The lefty coming set. Here's the 2-0. Ooh, Flashberg comes up empty. Big hack, but big miss. 2-1 the count. And 6, 7, 8 due up in this half of the inning. Dane Flashberg pinch hitting for Gabe Darcy. Cesar Chavez is in the on-deck circle. Swings through another one. That's a 2-ball, 2-strike count now. Barring any substitutions, Hudson LaBarbera will be the 3rd man to come up in this inning. Two from Hughes. This one misses. Runs a little outside. 84 off the lefty's arm. Flashberg digging back in, as does the lefty pitcher. Top of the 9th inning. Barons lead 8-3. This one poked out into shallow right field. Can Robinson make a play? No, he cannot, as it bounces in front of the right fielder. And so that's a leadoff single for Flashberg. So now to bring up the first baseman, Cesar Chavez.
Now batting number 37, Cesar Chavez.
So Hughes with the runner on first now, nobody out. Runner has a small lead over there. This one does catch the outer half, says home plate umpire. 0-1 the count. In Chavez's lone AB, he had a single. He was at second and on a grounder right in front of him to the 3rd baseman, Colin Taylor. He came out too far as this one's poked out into right center. Going back is Robinson. Robinson can't get a glove on it. And now it's going to get all the way to the wall. Flashberg being waved around 3rd. No, he gets held up at 3rd. I saw last minute that he was held up. And so now there's 2 runners in scoring position. A double to right center gap. Miles Hughes struggling to get these first 2 hitters out. But he's doing so with a comfortable 8-3 lead, so I'm sure those insurance runs in the bottom of the 8th coming in handy here. That'll bring up the DH, Hudson LaBarbera.
Now batting Hudson LaBarbera.
And so now Aiden Garcia is going to go jog out to the mound and have a chat with his pitcher, Miles Hughes. Again, 2 runners on, guy on second. And Cesar Chavez, the guy on 3rd, is Dante Flashberg. And Hudson LaBarbera is in the batter's box, hitting from the right side, doing the DH duties today. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. This one does catch the zone. The zone looking a little bigger here late in the game. Ooh, way out in front of that one, and so now it's an 0-2 count quickly on the DH. 3rd baseman Tucker Bales, the man on deck. Misses down and in. And Miles Hughes played for Compton College this past spring, right here at the MLB Urban Youth Academy. They played their home games here. Oh, rung him up. Home plate umpire ruled that strike 3. So Hudson Barbera goes down looking. Third strikeout of the evening for the DH, and that's out number 1. Huge out there. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Tucker Bale. And Hughes working with a 5-run lead. More fireworks go off in the distance. That's how you know it's summertime here in Southern California. This one swung over the top of as Hughes gets him with the changeup in at 73 miles per hour off the lefty's arm. Looking silly once again as he chases a pitch in the dirt. Tucker Bale now down 0-2 in the count. Grounded out to short in his last AB. 0 for 3 on the evening as well. Sunrays do have 7 hits. However, Max Imhoff, the catcher, has 3 of those. Oh, and Tucker Bale goes down swinging as well. So back-to-back strikeouts for Miles Hughes. And now there's 2 quick outs. So after giving up the 2 first batters, letting them get on and both in scoring position, Miles Hughes has locked in. Now to bring up the leadoff hitter, Owen Wessel. He's always a very savvy hitter up there at the plate. 0 for 4 on the day today. Has had some good ABs against the Barons this season. And Aiden Garcia behind the plate. Taylor's over at third. Cornwell's at short. Lena's at second. And Kirchner's at first. First pitch misses upstairs. Want to know the count. In the outfield defensively, Raymond Jenkins is in left. Zach Freeman in center and Deuce Robinson in right. Owen Wessel watches this one miss outside and high. 2-0 the count. Two-0 count on the leadoff hitter, Wessel. This one misses and runs outside. 3-0 the count. Miles Hughes struggling to throw strikes here. On deck is the shortstop, Braden Grantham. This one, green light for Wessel on a 3-0 count, and he fouls it back into the netting. 3-1 the count now. Hughes comes set. Here's the 3-1. Missing the zone. Down and in. Ooh. On the screen, looks like it caught the bottom half of the zone. Tough call there for Miles Hughes and the Barons. Bases are loaded. They're working with a 5-run lead. So Braden Grantham now steps into the batter's box.
Number 30, shortstop Braden Grantham.
2 outs in the inning. Grantham is 0 for 4 on the evening. 2 strikeouts, 2 groundouts. Misses upstairs. Hughes gonna have to pound the zone. Garcia gonna jog out over to him. Have a chat with his pitcher. Garcia from Golden West. Miles Hughes from Compton College. Went to Carson High School. Played for the Carson Colts. Here's the 1-0 count. This one also misses high and wide. Next pitch will be number 34 for Miles Hughes, in case you're keeping track at home. This one fouled back over the netting here. It's now a 2-1 count. Again, the San Diego Sun Rays are down to their last out. 2-1 the count on Braden Grantham. This one blown right past Grantham, and they're down to their last strike now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, bases loaded. So the infielders have options depending on where the ball's hit to. Miles Hughes looking to get that final out here in the top of the 9th. Kicks, steals. This one, a strikeout for out number 3. And so Miles Hughes closes down the door on Braden Grantham. A big strikeout. He does strike out the side. He loaded the bases in doing so. So a little drama at the end of that one. However, the Barons come out victorious by a score of 8-3. And thanks for tuning in to another game here on the MLB Academy YouTube channel. You can tune into all the Barons home games here on the MLB Academy Barons YouTube channel. So the Barons advanced to 4-3 on the season, while the San Diego Sun Rays dropped to 1-4. The Barons have won every game they played against the Sun Rays this year. And they'll take on the Conejo Oaks tomorrow and the Santa Barbara Foresters on Sunday. Yeah, 2 more games this weekend to come check us out here at the Youth Academy. If you can't check us out in person, always tune into the game on YouTube, as it'll be Christian Casillas, the winning pitcher for the MLB Academy Barons, as he was the last man in during the 7th inning. And getting the loss for the San Diego Sun Rays is pitcher Andrew Mahey. He came in, he was the 3rd pitcher used by the Sun Rays, gave up 3 runs in the 7th inning, and that's when the Barons retook the lead. Again, they were trailing 3-2 heading into the 7th. However, continued to battle back, put 3 runs up in the 7th inning, 3 runs up in the 8th, and they come out victorious by a score of 8-3. Again, thanks for tuning in to another edition of Barons Baseball here on the YouTube channel. Tomorrow and Sunday we'll have games for you. Tomorrow's first pitch scheduled at 6:05. You can tune in a couple minutes ahead of time. And same thing on Sunday. However, that first pitch is scheduled at 1:05. We'll go live for you guys at about 1 o'clock and recap the week of action for the Academy Barons. For everybody who's helped with the broadcast tonight, I'm Noah Alvarez saying so long. We'll catch you guys next time.